All right, so today we're going to try to figure out this puzzle in the U.S. housing market. You know, you'd think with these mortgage rates dropping, everyone would be like, finally, time to buy. But not really.
Yeah, it's almost like everyone's kind of just dipping their toes in the water, but not quite ready to jump in the pool.
It really is. So are people just not listening to what the rates are saying? What's the deal?
Well, see, that's the thing about us humans, right? We like to think we make decisions based on logic, especially with money involved. But especially with something as, emotional as buying a home, it's not always just about the numbers. There's a lot of psychology that goes into these big decisions.
Okay, so it's not as simple as lower rates, more buyers. Gotcha. We've actually got a new Redfin report that looks into this very thing. It breaks down why we're not seeing that big buyer rush that everyone expected. First off, they found that pending home sales, that actually dropped. Like, a lot. Biggest decline we've seen in almost a year.
Yeah, and that's with the median monthly payments being the lowest they've been in 5 months. It's kind of wild, right?
Definitely not what you'd expect just looking at the rates. So what's holding everyone back? Are people just waiting for a louder signal to buy, or?
That's kind of what it seems like. The report actually points to 4 main things that Redfin agents are hearing directly from their clients. And I think it gives us a really interesting look into how people are thinking about buying right now.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. Lay it on me. What's the first hurdle buyers are hitting?
Well, the first one, the report calls it near settlement confusion. Bit of a mouthful.
Just a bit.
But basically, it boils down to these new rules about how real estate agents get paid. They kicked in August 17th.
Ah, okay, so pretty recent change then. I could see how that'd make people nervous. I mean, can you talk a little more about what that actually means for, like, the average buyer and seller?
Sure. So, you see, before these new rules, the way agents got paid was pretty standard, But this new way, it's definitely made things a bit more uncertain, especially in the short term.
So buyers and sellers are kind of in this weird limbo, like trying to figure out a new board game as they play.
Yeah, kind of like trying to figure out the rules as you go and hoping you're not losing out in the process.
Exactly. And it's not just buyers who are a little unsure about all this. Sellers are also hesitant to, put their homes on the market because they don't know what to expect either.
Yeah, they don't know how these new fees will shake out for them in the end. So you've got both sides in this holding pattern, which of course slows everything down.
Makes sense. So that's one hurdle. What's the next one Redfin found?
All right, so the second one is, well, people are still holding out for those prices to drop even more. I mean, yeah, monthly payments are down, but home prices are still really high.
Yeah, it's tough. Everyone wants to buy at the bottom, right?
Right, but it's that whole timing the market thing, and that's always a gamble. Because, see, if rates were to suddenly take a dive, everyone's going to jump in at once, and those prices, they'll shoot right back up.
So waiting for a lower price could actually end up costing you more in the long run.
Exactly. It's like basic economics, right? Supply and demand. Okay, so the third thing making buyers hesitate is, you guessed it, those interest rates.
They're like the elephant in the room.
Right.
Or maybe the mortgage broker in the living room or something.
Something like that. But, yeah, a lot of people are holding their breath, waiting to see if the Fed cuts rates in September.
Hoping for even lower rates.
Yeah.
But then wouldn't that just bring in more buyers and create more competition?
You got it. It's kind of a catch-22. Lower rates sound great, but then everyone's trying to buy at the same time. Suddenly that advantage kind of disappears.
It's tough out there for a home buyer. Okay, so we've got agent fees, hoping for price drops, and of course the interest rate roller coaster. What's the final factor Redfin mentioned?
All right, so this last one is a little different. It's not so much about the numbers, but more about, well, what's going on in the world, It is an election year.
Ah, yes, the good old election year uncertainty.
Exactly, and that can make anyone think twice about big financial decisions, no matter who you're voting for.
Because it's like, even if you're not going to move out of the country depending on who wins, like those new policies and all, that could shake things up.
Yeah.
Especially with a big purchase like a house.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know what to expect. It's that uncertainty more than any one thing that can really make people hit the brakes on those big decisions,
For sure. So we've got these 4 factors, all kind of pushing buyers to wait it out a bit. But Redfin did mention a little bit of hope on the horizon, didn't they?
They did. It seems like mortgage applications actually went up a little last week.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. It's not a huge jump, and it's still way lower than this time last year, but hey, it's something.
Maybe those lower rates are starting to win people over.
Could be. But, it's a good reminder that all this market, it's complicated. It's not just about the numbers, right?
Definitely not. There's that gut feeling too.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what I think is so important for everyone listening to remember, how do you make those big choices when there's so much uncertainty? What really matters to you at the end of the day?
It's that balance we've been talking about all along, right?
Mhm.
Logic versus gut feeling.
Yeah. Do you go with the numbers? Trust the idea that lower interest rates mean saving money?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you kind of just wait and see, go with that feeling of wanting things to be a bit more, I don't know, stable?
Exactly.
There's no right answer, is there? Everyone's different. Nope. And that's why it's so important to just, like you said, really think about what matters to you.
Absolutely. Understanding the market is one thing, but understanding yourself, that's huge.
Could not agree more. Well, there we have it. Our deep dive into this crazy U.S. housing market. It's a mixed bag out there.
It really is.
We've got some good signs, some maybe not so good, but the best thing anyone can do is stay informed, right?
Absolutely. Do your research, talk to the experts, and in the end, trust your gut.
Love it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. Until next time.